feels like everyone else got the instruction manual for happiness, and you were left out. Doesn't it, that tightness in your chest when you check your bank account, that fog in your brain when you try to manifest, that gnawing feeling that the universe has forgotten you? I know I've been there, not just once, hundreds of times. I've stood in front of my bathroom mirror at 3 a.m. whispering affirmations like a broken record, my reflection staring back with hollow eyes. I've clenched my fists so hard my nails drew blood, praying for a breakthrough that never came. I've watched friends buy houses, launch businesses, travel the world effortlessly, it seemed, while I was still stuck in the same cycle of paycheck to paycheck survival. You've been there, too. I can hear it in the way your breath catches when you open your latest bill. I can see it in the way your shoulders tense when someone casually mentions their vacation plans. You felt it, the weight of the world pressing down on you, not from outside, but from within. It's not just financial strain, it's emotional exhaustion. It's the quiet despair of watching others effortlessly float through life while you're stuck in a cycle of survival. No matter how hard you try, you've asked yourself, why does this happen to me? You blame yourself, you wonder if you're unworthy. You search for answers in every self-help book, every spiritual teacher, every guru promising enlightenment. If you just buy their course, you've even considered that maybe, just maybe, the problem isn't you, maybe it's something deeper, something biological, something that's been silently eroding your ability to receive abundance, the very thing that should be your birthright. You were never meant to struggle like this. Every time you feel stuck, every time money slips through your fingers like water, every time you pray for a breakthrough and nothing changes, your hippocampus is shrinking. That tiny almond-shaped organ deep in your brain isn't just a memory center, it's your direct connection to divine abundance. It's the bridge between your physical reality and the invisible realm where miracles live. When it's healthy, it hums with theta, waves the frequency of miracles, the state where money appears effortlessly, where intuition guides you perfectly, where the universe opens doors you never knew existed. It's the organ that allows you to receive instead of scrape by. But something has been attacking it since the day you were born. Think back to your childhood. The first time you heard money doesn't grow on trees. The first time you were told you have to work hard to get ahead. The first time you felt fear about not having enough. That fear wasn't just an emotion, it was a frequency, a vibration that began to reshape your nervous system, shrinking your hippocampus, locking you into beta. Waves the frantic survival energy of the poor, the stressed, the struggling. Consider the little girl who watched her mother cry over unpaid bills, the boy who heard his father say, "We can't afford that." For every childhood wish, the teenager who cringed when a classmate showed off a new phone while they were still using a flip phone from 2007. These aren't just memories, they're neural imprints. They are the seeds of scarcity planted deep in your hippocampus, germinating into a belief system that whispers you will never have enough. And that belief system rewires your brain to see only lack, no matter much you try to convince yourself otherwise. The stress of school, the pressure to get good grades, to please teachers, to fit into a system that rewards obedience over creativity. The first job, the soul-crushing monotony of clocking in and out, watching your dreams fade into the background as you numb yourself to survive. The constant noise of modern life, the endless notifications, the doom scrolling, the comparison trap on social media, the electromagnetic smog from your phone bombarding your brain with artificial frequencies that disrupt your natural rhythm, the late night worrying about bills, the way your mind races, replaying worst case scenarios until your heart pounds so hard you wonder if it's about to give out, the judgmental voice in your head that whispers you'll never be enough. All of this has been shrinking your hippocampus, keeping you trapped in a state of chronic stress, where survival mode becomes your default setting. This is why you can't manifest. This is why money comes and goes like a thief in the night. This is why the universe feels silent even when you're praying with all your heart. It's not that the universe is against you. It's that you've been biologically disconnected from it. The deep reason you are going through this pain is specifically because of your shrunken hippocampus. That is the root cause. So if you want to start changing this reality today by simply regrowing this connection with a sound wave, then click the link in the description right now and change your life today. Now, to understand how we truly heal this, we have to go deeper. You were never meant to struggle like this. Ancient mystics called this organ the god organ for a reason. In tantric traditions of India, it was believed to be the seat of Kundalini, the dormant spiritual energy that, when awakened, could lift a person out of limitation and into divine flow. In the Hermetic texts of the West, it was linked to the pineal gland, the third eye, and the idea that true wisdom comes from aligning with higher consciousness. Shamans in the Amazon have long used sacred plant medicines to expand this connection, believing that the hippocampus is the doorway to the spirit world. But here's the truth they don't tell you in Sunday sermons or mindfulness retreats. The God organ isn't just a metaphor. It's a physical, measurable part of your brain. And when it's atrophied, whether from childhood, trauma, societal conditioning, or the relentless stress of modern life, you don't just feel poor, you become poor, not in wealth, but in the very ability to receive wealth. Think about the last time you tried to manifest something big, a raise, a client, a sudden influx of cash. And it didn't happen. Maybe you did everything right. You wrote it down in a journal. You visualized it every night. You even burned a candle and said a prayer. And yet the universe remained silent. Here's why: your brain wasn't vibrating at the frequency of abundance. It was stuck in beta, the high alert state of fight or flight. In beta, your brain is scanning for threats, not opportunities. It's calculating risks, not possibilities. It's locked in survival mode, unable to see the invisible threads of synchronicity that weave through your life. Meanwhile, the wealthy operate in theta. They make decisions. From a place of calm, they see opportunities others miss. They attract money effortlessly because their brain is literally vibrating at the frequency of abundance. This isn't some woo-woo idea, it's neuroscience. Studies on successful entrepreneurs show that their brains exhibit higher levels of theta wave activity during problem solving and creative thinking. They're not working harder, they are operating from a different state of consciousness. But powerful organizations have known this for decades. Governments, corporations, the elite, they've been using frequencies to manipulate populations for years. They've been keeping you in the beta wave prison, so you stay distracted, stressed, and struggling. They call it the slave wave for a reason. The poor don't choose poverty. They are trapped in a biological state that makes rational thinking nearly impossible. Chronic stress doesn't just make you feel bad, it literally rewires your brain to prioritize survival over abundance. Your hippocampus, the very organ that should be guiding you toward prosperity, is weakened, making it harder to see opportunities, harder to trust, harder to believe in miracles. Consider the stock market. When the economy crashes, people don't just lose money, they lose their ability to think clearly. Studies show that during financial crises, IQ scores temporarily drop by up to 15 points due to stress-induced brain shrinkage. The same thing happens on an individual level when you're drowning in debt. The constant cortisol flooding your system doesn't just make you anxious, it physically shrinks the part of your brain responsible for long-term planning and emotional regulation. Meanwhile, the wealthy have found ways to shield themselves from this. They meditate, they use biofeedback, they expose themselves to specific frequencies that keep their brains in theta. Some even use nootropics or psychedelics in controlled settings to reset their neural pathways. They're not smarter than you, they're just operating from a different biological baseline. This isn't a conspiracy theory. It's neuroscience. When your hippocampus is healthy, it produces brain-derived neurotrophic factor BDNF, a protein that literally helps your brain grow new connections. It's like Miracle Grow for your soul. BDNF enhances synaptic plasticity, meaning your brain can adapt, learn, and heal faster. It improves memory, reduces inflammation, and even protects against neurodegenerative diseases. But chronic stress destroys BDNF, shrinking your hippocampus and locking you into survival mode. The 430 to Hz frequency has been scientifically proven to reduce cortisol levels by up to 40% in just 10 minutes of listening. Studies by the Heart Math Institute increase theta wave activity by 300%. In some studies, research published in scientific reports improve cognitive function and memory, tested in Alzheimer's and PTSD patients. Activate the parasympathetic nervous system, your rest and digest state. Repair damaged neural pathways shown in brain scans after just 30 days of consistent exposure. This is why millionaires meditate. This is why spiritual teachers recommend sound healing. This is the secret they don't want you to know. You don't need to work harder. You don't need more courses. You don't need to manifest more. You need to heal the organ that's been cut off from abundance. Think about this. How many times have you set a goal, created a vision, poured repeated affirmations, only to watch everything fall apart? How many times have you felt like the universe was against you, even when you were doing everything right? The problem isn't your effort, it's your frequency. Your hippocampus doesn't care about your positive thinking. It cares about vibration. It cares about resonance. It cares about the exact frequency that will allow it to regrow and reconnect to the divine. Let me give you a real example. Sarah, a 34-year-old nurse, came to me after years of struggling financially. She had a great job, but no matter how much she saved, something always came up: a car repair, a medical bill, an unexpected expense. She tried everything: budgeting apps, side hustles, even a manifestation course that cost her $200. Nothing worked. Then she started using the 430 to HC sound wave ritual for just 7 minutes a day. Within 3 weeks, she noticed something strange. She started receiving unexpected refunds from old subscriptions she'd forgotten about. A former patient who she hadn't seen in years reached out to offer her a freelance position with flexible hours. She walked into her local coffee shop and overheard two people talking about a grant for healthcare workers, something she'd never considered applying for. By the 6th week, she had paid off her credit card debt without changing her spending habits. The money just appeared, not because of magic, because her brain was finally able to see the opportunities that had always been there. This isn't rare, it's biology. Another example: Mark, a freelance graphic designer, was stuck in a cycle of feast or famine income. Some months he'd land big clients, other months he'd scramble to pay rent. He tried everything: networking events, cold emails, even a law of attraction retreat. Nothing stuck. Then he started using the sound ritual. Within a month, he received 3 unsolicited inquiries from clients who had been on his website for months but never reached out. One of them offered him a project that paid 3 times his usual rate. He didn't change his marketing strategy. He didn't get lucky. His brain's frequency shifted. And suddenly people saw him in a new way. This is the power of the God organ. When it's healthy, you don't just get lucky, you get divine timing. Money appears when you need it. Opportunities fall into your lap. People suddenly want to help you. Synchronicities become your normal way of life. But here's the good news: your hippocampus is capable of regeneration. It's not a lost cause. With the right frequency, it can heal. The 7-minute sound ritual isn't a product, it's a blessing. It's a tool of liberation. It's the exact frequency your hippocampus has been starving for. Just 7 minutes a day of this sacred sound, and your brain will begin to regenerate. Your stress will melt away. Your intuition will sharpen. Money will start appearing in ways you never expected. Imagine waking up tomorrow and feeling peace for the first time in years. No tightness in your chest, no racing thoughts, no dread when you check your bank account. Just a quiet knowing that everything is working out. Imagine checking your bank account and seeing unexpected deposits, money from forgotten refunds, surprise bonuses, gifts from unexpected sources. Imagine walking into a room and feeling the energy shift because you're vibrating at a higher frequency. People notice, they feel it, they want to help you. Opportunities come to you effortlessly. This isn't about positive thinking. This is about biological reality. Your brain is a receiver. It's tuned to certain frequencies. When you're stuck in beta, you're tuned to struggle, to lack, to survival. When you shift into theta, you're tuned to abundance, to miracles, to effortless flow. Let me tell you about Dr. Joe Dispenza's work. In his studies on meditation and brainwave states, he found that people who practiced deep meditation for just 15 minutes a day could shift from beta to theta within weeks. But here's the catch: not everyone could do it. Those who struggled had one thing in common: their brains were too damaged by chronic stress. Their hippocampi were too shrunken. Their nervous systems were too locked in survival mode. The only way to break free was to rewire the brain first. And that requires the right frequency. That's where the sound ritual comes in. The sound is a courier wave. It's not just music, it's a direct message to your brain. It tells your hippocampus you are safe, you are abundant, you are connected. And when your hippocampus hears that message, it starts to regrow, it starts to heal, it starts to reconnect to the divine. This isn't esoteric nonsense. The US military has used 430 to Hz frequencies in sound therapy to help soldiers recover from PTSD. NASA has studied its effects on astronauts to counteract the stress of space travel. Even hospitals in Europe have started using it to calm patients before surgery. The science is real, the results are measurable. But here's the thing: you don't need to understand the science to benefit from it. You just need to feel it. Close your eyes. Right. Now take a deep breath. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4, exhale for 6. Feel your shoulders drop, feel the tension leaving your jaw, feel your heart rate slow. This is the first step. This is how you start to shift out of beta. Now imagine that every cell in your body is like a tuning fork. When you expose it to the right frequency, it begins to vibrate in harmony. That's what the sound ritual does. It tunes your entire system to the frequency of abundance. You've spent years trying to think your way into prosperity. But prosperity isn't a thought, it's a state. It's a biological reality. And the only way to shift into that state is to heal the part of you that's been disconnected from it. The cage is invisible, but the key is real. The sound is waiting. Your hippocampus is ready to heal. Take the first step. Click the link. Let the miracle begin. Now close your eyes, breathe, and know that help is here, because you were never meant to struggle like this.